my name is Abby Lynch, and I'm the Teen Services Librarian at the Brookfield Library, back for another week of Teen Book Talks. This week we are talking all about some new books. I have some new series and some favorite authors and some new installments in series for you guys to check out. And any of the books today can be put on hold online at brookfieldlibrary.org, or you can call 203-775-6241 and we'll help you put them on hold. They'll be available for curbside pickup. A couple of them are available electronically, and when they are, I will mention that. You can also always request a personalized reading list online or a super secret book bag. Those are just some other ways to get some book suggestions. I love to make those up, so please feel free to fill out a form and we'll get you some books. But let's get to the new ones. First, I just wanted to make sure that folks knew that there was a new Ransom Riggs Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children series book. It's called The Desolations of Devil's Acre, and it's the 6th book in this series, so we have a copy here if you'd like to check it out if you're a fan of that series and you've been waiting for a new one. That's The Desolations of Devil's Acre by Ransom Riggs. Next up we have Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. Tiffany D. Jackson writes great contemporary thrillers. Well, she actually has some historical as well, but really good thrillers. I know a lot of folks like thrillers. I get a lot of requests for them in the reading lists. So if you're a thriller fan and you haven't checked out Tiffany D. Jackson, here's her latest. It's called Grown. Corey Fields is dead. When Enchanted Jones wakes with blood on her hands and zero memory of the previous night, no one, the police and Corey's fans included, has more questions than she does. All she really knows is that this isn't how things are supposed to be. Corey was Enchanted's ticket to stardom. Before there was a dead body, Enchanted was an aspiring singer struggling with her tight-knit family's recent move to the suburbs while trying to find her place as the lone black girl in high school. But then, legendary R&B artist Corey Fields spots her at an audition, and suddenly her dream of becoming a professional singer takes flight. Enchanted is dazzled by Corey's luxurious life, but soon her dreams turn into a nightmare. Behind Corey's charm and star power hides a dark side, one that wants to control her every move with rage and consequences. Except now, he's dead, and the police are at the door. Who killed Corey Fields? All signs point to Enchanted. So that's Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, and it's available as an ebook on Overdrive, as well as the print copy. Next up we have Laure by Alexandra Bracken. Every 7 years, the Agon begins. As punishment for a past rebellion, 9 Greek gods are forced to walk the earth as mortals, hunted by the descendants of ancient bloodlines, all eager to kill a god and seize their divine power and immortality. Long ago, Laure Perseus fled that brutal world in the wake of her family's sadistic murder by a rival line, turning her back on the hunt's promises of eternal glory. For years, she's pushed away any thought of revenge against the man, now a god, responsible for their deaths. Yet as the next hunt dawns over New York City, 2 participants seek out her help. Castor, a childhood friend of Laure believed long dead, and a gravely wounded Athena, among the last of the original gods. The goddess offers Laure an alliance against their mutual enemy, and, at last, a way for Laure to leave the Agon behind forever. But Laure's decision to bind her fate to Athena's and rejoin the hunt will come at a deadly cost, and still may not be enough to stop the rise of a new god with the power to bring humanity to its knees. And this one is available in ebook format on Hoopla or Overdrive or Libby. So that's for all of you mythology fans out there. Laure by Alexandra Bracken. All right, our next book today is Skyhunter by Marie Lu. And you know I have to zoom in on that cover. So this is Skyhunter by Marie Lu. The Kosoko Federation has conquered a dozen countries, leaving Mara as one of the last free nations in the world. Refugees flee to its borders to escape a fate worse than death, transformation into mutant war beasts known as ghosts, creatures the Federation then sends to attack Mara. The legendary strikers, Mara's elite fighting force, are trained to stop them. But as the number of ghosts grow and Kosoko closes in, defeat seems inevitable. Still, one striker refuses to give up hope. Robbed of her voice and home, Talon Kanami knows firsthand the brutality of the Federation. Their cruelty forced her and her mother to seek asylum in a country that considers their people repugnant. She finds comfort only with a handful of fellow strikers who have pledged their lives to one another and who are determined to push Carenza back at all costs. When a mysterious prisoner is brought from the front, Talon senses there's more to him than meets the eye. Is he a spy for the Federation? Or could he be the weapon that will save them all? So that's Skyhunter by Marie Lu. Next up we have Yesterday is History by Kosoko Jackson, and here is another really knockout cover. Very cool. Weeks ago, Andre Cobb received a much-needed liver transplant. He's ready for his life to finally begin until one night when he passes out and wakes up somewhere totally unexpected, in 1969, where he connects with a magnetic boy named Michael. And then, just as suddenly as he arrived, he slips back into present-day Boston, where the family of his donor is waiting to explain that his new liver came with a side effect, the ability to time travel. And they've tasked their youngest son, Blake, with teaching Andre how to use his new unexpected gift. Andre splits his time bouncing between the past and the future, between Michael and Blake. Michael is everything Andre wishes he could be, and Blake, still reeling from the death of his brother, Andre's donor, keeps him at arm's length despite their obvious attraction to each other. Torn between two boys, one in the past and one in the present, Andre has to figure out where he belongs, and more importantly, who he wants to be, before the consequences of jumping in time catch up to him and change his future for good. So this one is also available in ebook format on Hoopla. That's Yesterday is History by Kosoko Jackson. Next, we have another book that has some medical-induced reality shifting here, which is Game Changer by Neal Shusterman. Neal Shusterman is always a favorite, and this is his latest. All it takes is one hit on the football field, and suddenly Ash's life doesn't look quite the way he remembers it. Impossible though it seems, he's been hit into another dimension, and keeps on bouncing through worlds that are almost but not really his own. The changes start small, but they quickly spiral out of control as Ash slides into universes where he has everything he's ever wanted, universes where society is stuck in the past, universes where he finds himself looking at life through entirely different eyes. And if he isn't careful, the world he's learning to see more clearly could blink out of existence. So that's Game Changer by Neal Shusterman. Last up we have City of Villains by Estelle Laure. And this is the first in a new series which will be exploring the origins of Disney villains. Mary Elizabeth Hart is a high school senior by day, but by night she's an intern at the Monarch City Police Department. She watches with envy from behind a desk as detectives come and go, trying to contain the city's growing crime rate. For years, tension has simmered between the city's wealthy elite and their plans to gentrify the decaying neighborhood called the Scar, once upon a time the epicenter of all things magic. When the daughter of one of the city's most powerful businessmen goes missing, Mary Elizabeth is thrilled when the chief actually puts her on the case. But what begins as one missing persons report soon multiplies, leading her down the rabbit hole of a city in turmoil. There she finds a girl with horns, a boyfriend with secrets, and what seems to be a sea monster lurking in a poisoned lake. As the mystery circles closer to home, Mary finds herself caught in the fight between those who once had magic and those who will do anything to bring it back. So that's City of Villains by Estelle Laure, and it's available in ebook format on Hoopla. So those are our books for today. I hope you found something new to add to your to-read list. You can put any of those books on hold at brookfieldlibrary.org or by giving us a call at 203-775-6241. Until next time, have a great week.